We are back in a major way. It's week 3. We are
Oh shoot!
back
I always forget to do
in a
this
major
part.
way.
Okay.
It's week
It
3.
just repeated.
We are
Oh
everything
shoot!
that
I always forget
Wait,
to do
in a
this
major
part.
way.
It's still
It's
doing
week
it. I gotta
3.
edit this out.
We
It's repeating.
are
I always forget to X
everything
this part
that-
out.
Okay, I think we're good now. Like, I have to start a broadcast on Twitter, and it starts replaying the broadcast to me, and then it goes on the recording. So my bad. Let's start that over, guys. Should I put the loading screen back up, too, and everything? All right, let's start it over. Here we go. Loading screen's up. We are back in a major way. Week 3, Bet Big. I'm here with Bet Big Brad, B1G Wilson. We're going to give you guys the picks. We're going to give you guys an easy way to make a lot of cash this weekend. Wilson, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing all right. Excited for the weekend. How about yourself?
I'm very excited about the weekend. In fact, I'm counting today as the weekend. I'm just excited about today. I just played my Week 14 Dynasty game, which was Michigan versus Ohio State, and I beat them by, 60. 70-10, I beat Ohio State, so I'm undefeated in Dynasty.
Nice.
Yeah. It felt good. It felt real good.
I saw the beatdown you were putting on Ohio State today. Was that part of the dynasty, or
Yeah.
was that for fun?
No, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, that game. I just played that.
That's what he just said. Are you okay, brother?
Nope, I'm not. I didn't know you were talking specifically about that game. I just thought you meant in general. My bad.
It's all good. Hey, I'm glad you saw it. I don't know how much of it you watched, but I'm glad you checked in and at least saw it online.
I turned it on and it was 42-7, and then I just immediately shut it off.
Yeah. I thought it was going to be close at first. They got 2 3 and outs to start the game, and I was like, oh, we got a game here, but it wasn't. Brad, how you doing, though, brother?
I'm doing good, man. How are you? Just trying to make sure nobody's got my playbook going, you know?
Oh, I see what you're doing there. Okay. I thought you were making fun of Wilson, but you're doing a Dan Campbell right now.
Yeah.
Dude, for a moment, if we could for a moment, how about them Lions?
MCDC.
How about them Lions, though?
It was good. It was good.
Yeah.
It's a W. Goes down as a W. That's all that matters.
Yeah, 1-0, baby. 1-0. About to be 2-0, I hope. I am worried about Baker this weekend, man. He was cooking last week. He was on fire, but
Yeah. And Mike Evans has known to go for career numbers against us. So
yeah, but we're the Detroit Lions, baby. Don't you forget it. Remember when Jamal Williams did that and started crying after the Packers game? And stop
then
playing with us. We the Detroit Lions.
And that was his last game as a Lion.
Yeah. No, he had the playoff games. Didn't we? Well, we didn't make the playoffs that year, did we?
no, we just stopped them from going to the playoffs.
Damn. All right. That's Lions talk. Let's move on to our next segment here. Brad, we're going to go over your picks from last week.
Yeah.
First, here's your ticket. It's on the screen from last week. Last week you gave us Texas minus 7.5 as your lock. You gave us Iowa minus 2.5, and you gave us Nebraska minus 7.5. Overall, like, for the picks that you gave us, I think you gave us the right picks. Even the Iowa pick, I'm not, like, super upset about. That's not your fault, dude. They played bad.
No. Yeah, they blew it.
Yeah, they blew it. They definitely blew that. But, again, Texas and Nebraska, though, you had that. And you actually undershot yourself. You were going over both of those lines. I went back and listened. I believe you said Texas by 13 or Nebraska by 13, and then the other one was by 9. And you were, I mean, either way, again, it goes down as a W, though, for you.
Yeah. Yep. It does. I feel good about those, and that's why I said those. That's the whole point of this show, right?
Yeah,
that's what we're doing here.
Yeah,
Perfect.
Totally.
Felt good to be right. I should have been 3-0. I should have been 3-0. I apologize if anybody took my Iowa bet to heart. That's on me.
Mm-hmm.
That's on
Not
me and
really,
the
though. I
entire
think it's on
Iowa
them.
program. No, it has nothing to do with me at all. You're right. It's all Iowa blew it.
I think this is, even though we're kind of in the middle of talking about your picks, I think this is a good time to bring this up. We're going to start this week every pick that we give is now worth 2 points. And the reason why we're doing that, I'll go over the overall standings in just a minute, but this week we all went 13 and 11. Brad, just one final thought about, in general, not the tie, I guess, as much, but going 13 and 11 last week. You feel okay about that, still being over 500?
Yeah, I mean, still over 500 is good. I'm
Yeah.
fine with it.
Yeah. That's kind of how I felt. I'll bring up my picks now. However, I was a little worse on the picks I gave on the show. I also gave everybody Iowa minus 2.5. I gave Northwestern minus 2.5 as well. And again, that should have been – I felt like that was a good pick. That was a game that I thought Northwestern had in hand last Friday night. Ended up going into overtime. Scored first in overtime, I believe. I fell asleep. I have never done that during a Big Ten game. I fell asleep during overtime. I didn't make it. But Duke ended up winning that game. And then I gave – oh, wait, those are Wilson's picks. I'm sorry. I gave Rutgers minus 22.5. That was the only one I won. I'm sorry. I just went over Wilson's picks. I'm out of order here. Rutgers minus 22.5. That was the one that I won. I gave MSU and Maryland under 43.5. That lost too many points in that game. That's on me. And then here's the one that pissed me off. I'm not going to lie. Oregon minus 19.5 versus Boise State. What is Oregon? What are we doing, brothers?
Not sure. Can't be
They don't
sure
have
right
a
now.
defense.
It's pissing me. You know what made me the most mad, though? I had Oregon minus 9.5 for a fifth and sixth leg of a parlay, and that didn't even hit. They couldn't even win by 10 against Boise State at home. Pissed me off. So those were my picks. Again, I also went 13 and 11. It was a tie last week. Nobody won $5. Wilson, your picks. Also 13 and 11. Everybody tied. And I was just reading yours. You gave Iowa minus 2.5. Again, not your fault. You gave Northwestern minus 2.5. Again, I don't think your fault. But you came through in the clutch, and you gave us Illinois plus 5.5 versus Kansas. Let's focus on the positive. How'd you feel about that pick?
I loved it. My man Bert came through for me again. I don't think they don't have a game this week. Oh yeah, they do. Let's see if he goes 3 for 3. 'Cause I'm riding that train until it derails.
Can't you have them only winning 3 games the whole year, right?
I have them winning 2 games the whole year. And for the record, though, on Twitter especially, I've already doubled back on that. I already said that I made a mistake. I was wrong about Illinois. Some of the Fighting Illini faithful were they were receptive to that, and then there were a few that were not receptive last Saturday night, and that's fine. That's fine. I deserve it. I deserve everything I have coming when it comes to the Illinois shit talking, if you will. So that's where we're at. All right. Quick glance at what's that?
Real quick, shout out to our guy at Illini 1990 Matt, who corrected the chart and saved Brad and I $5.
Dude, I was going to put his tweet up on the screen. I totally forgot about that. But yes, and I said I was going to mention him. So thank you, Wilson, for bringing that up. What was his name again? One more time.
At Illini 1990 Matt.
Yeah, I gave myself a win for, and I picked Kansas.
Game.
I think it was the Kansas game. It was that game. Obviously, he was looking at that game. So, yeah, that's what ended up making it a tie. Because for a moment there, even though all three of us were looking over the sheet the whole time, we didn't notice that.
I don't really look at it when you send it to me, dog, to be honest.
Okay.
I'm just like, yep.
But you got $5 riding on it, man. That's real money. You should be taking a glance at that. I'm also keep trying to cheat.
Of, if we, I think you were. If we were doing the new format, I would have won last week with my two games that I gave out.
You would have.
You mentioned that.
You would have. I was going to retroactively add, like give you the win for last week, right?
Yeah.
Because we actually had 3 picks. But then I went back and listened to week 1's episode, and you guys didn't give firm picks. You gave, like, the whole game. So it didn't really like you know what I mean? You give me the spread and the total. So I couldn't really, like, say, okay, well, this was his pick for sure. I can't give him 2 points for that. But like you said, though, going forward, all the picks that we give on the show will be worth 2 points, and hopefully that will prevent any further ties in the future. All right, Brad, before we get to your ticket, we're going to start with you today. We made these picks on Wednesday. I know we're recording on Friday. If any of the lines changed, we ain't got time to go back and look at that and change our picks or anything like that. So these are the lines from Wednesday. On Wednesday, there was no line for Michigan State versus Prairie View, Northwestern versus East Illinois, and Nebraska versus UNI. So, Brad, with that being said, those 3 games not on the ticket. Your ticket, I have Wilson's up first. I lied. Wilson, your ticket is on the board. Hey, I might be a little out of order, but the graphics look nice today. I set them up to look really nice. So just because I'm out of order doesn't mean they don't look nice. Yeah, you'll see them afterwards if you watch, which you won't. Wilson, your ticket is on the board right now. Give us your 3 picks, and we will tell you why you are right or wrong.
My 3 picks, and I'm not doing it for our little competition, but if you are better on these apps, I wouldn't be mad if you parlayed these 3.
Oh, wow.
But I'm going my 3.
I'm going to do it.
Washington -5 against Washington State. Indiana -3 against UCLA.
Absolutely.
And then Maryland -3 at Virginia. I got all 3 of those favorites winning and covering the spread.
Brad, I'll let you go first. What are your thoughts about those 3?
I don't have anything bad to say, and I wanted to. I had the intentions. When he started talking, my intention was to find something just nasty to say about his picks. I can't do it. I think they're all solid.
I'm going to have to disagree. I'm actually pulling up my picks right now and it just went on the screen, sorry. Because I put the wrong one in the chat for my picks. So I'm just going to mine to just double check here. Here's my week 3 picks.
So you are cheating then.
I'm not cheating. I'm not cheating. I just wanted to make sure I had this on my ticket before first of all, let me start with, I love the Indiana pick. Like, absolutely in love with that. I think that's one of my 3. I'll have to go back and check my notes, but I love it. I'm on Indiana this weekend as well. I do not like UCLA. The one that I have to disagree with the most, and this just based on my eye test, is Maryland. I don't know what Virginia is. I'll be honest. I didn't watch Virginia play. I know I looked up their scores on Wednesday, and after looking up their scores and what I've seen from Maryland, especially last week, no offense, Michigan State, I'm not super confident in them, and I'm definitely not confident in them going on the road to go get a win after they just lost at home. So I have Virginia in that game, so I don't like that one. And your third one was what now? Washington.
Well,
yeah, I took Washington State. Yep. So
any reason behind that, or
what's that?
Any reason you took Washington State?
I don't like Washington.
Oh, it's just pure hatred.
No. Not that I don't like them. I don't like their football team when it comes to covering spreads is what I'm trying to get at.
Fair.
So I took Washington State and the points again. I think that one is at Washington.
Yep.
But yeah, I'm not a big fan of what Washington showed me so far. So rivalry game, it's 5 points. So like if it comes down to a field goal, I still win. I don't know. So that's what I think. Good picks though. I mean, I'm not mad at your picks. I just Maryland, man, I just don't know about them.
To be honest, I took a lot of under across the board this week too, which has me a little nervous, but
I did too. As I'm looking back.
All right, I'm going to go next because that's the next graphic that I have up on the screen. I'll try to be short, even though I made a lot of notes. My first one, like I just said, I absolutely love it. It's Indiana -3 against UCLA. I'm in on Coach Sig. I think UCLA stinks to high heaven. They went out to Hawaii, and here's what happened in that game. For people that didn't watch that game, Hawaii was winning going into the fourth quarter. Hawaii, one of the worst teams in all of college football, was beating UCLA going into the fourth quarter. UCLA kicked 2 field goals to win by 3 in that game in the fourth quarter. Not 2 touchdowns, not 2 safeties, 2 field goals. That's what they got. They couldn't get in the end zone in the fourth quarter against Hawaii. They only scored 1 touchdown against Hawaii the whole game. I think Indiana's offense looks much improved. Obviously, they were playing the School of the Blind last week, and they scored 77 points. And that's great and everything, but just you still have to go score those points, right? You still have to go score 77. Offense looks better. I think this team actually believes in Coach Signetti, and they just look like they had a swagger their first 2 games. So I'm all over Indiana on this one. I don't care that it's on the road. Thoughts?
UCLA doesn't have a home crowd anyway, so it doesn't
Right.
matter for this matchup.
I think I mean more or less like the travel. Like I'm not
That's
obviously the crowd is not going to be a factor, but I think I saw them on Twitter. They were packing up their semi bus on like Tuesday night to get out to a game on Saturday because that's how far they have to drive. So, but obviously the team's going to be flying out there. But yeah. Brad, your thoughts on that?
What was your first pick again?
That was my only. I've only said my first pick. It's just Indiana.
That's the only thing you said so far. I've been looking at my picks. Yeah, Indiana is also one of my locks, so I'm on board with you guys.
We all 3
I
got
think that was
locked up.
one of the easiest ones this week. Yeah.
Okay. My next one is going to be Illinois and Central Michigan over 49.5. I'm taking the over in this one. Do you guys think that Illinois, a team that just beat Kansas, is better than FIU? Do you guys think that that's true? And FIU, by the way, is a team that lost to Indiana 31-7.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
If you think that that is true, and you think that Illinois is better, then Illinois should be able to cover this 50 points by themselves because FIU beat Central Michigan 52-16. 52. FIU scored against Central Michigan.
So
52 points. Illinois should be able to score 80 in this game. I think that the pace of play is going to be high. Central Michigan is in the top 40 in college football for passing percentage per play. So, in other words, every time they drop back, they're throwing the ball 53% of the time. Like I said, that's top 40 in college football. Illinois is near the bottom of that, but it doesn't matter because they're going to be scoring so fast in this game. I think the pace is going to be high. I think there's going to be a lot of scores and for Illinois, and I think that Central Michigan's going to have to throw the ball a lot, and they're not going to get completions. Going to stop the clock. They're going to have to punt. Illinois is going to come down and score again, and it's going to be well over that number. So 49.5. You guys like that?
I have the opposite, but you would clearly know a lot more about Central than I did. I didn't look into them too much, but I'm glad you're on the Burt train, so I hope it goes well for you. But I'm not switching my picks.
I got over in that game, so I like it.
Let's go. All right, my last pick. This is a little non-traditional for me. I'm taking Purdue plus 10 points versus Notre Dame, and here's why. Usually, you guys know me. Usually, I'm the guy that says everybody's saying one thing, the opposite's going to happen, right? Everybody's off Notre Dame right now, and everyone's loving Purdue in this game, and I'm one of them. And that's a time when I usually go, I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to take Notre Dame minus 10. I'm just going to trust my eyes this time. I'm just going to trust it. Notre Dame lost to NIU. I think Purdue is better than NIU, even though Purdue all-time against NIU is 0-2, which is a pretty interesting fact. But here's the key words, though, in this game. Ross-Ade Stadium. I think it's going to be popping this weekend. I think they're excited about this game. And I think it is going to be a big home field advantage. And once again, I'm just going with trusting my eyes on this third pick and thinking that Notre Dame is not that good. Hudson Card has thrown one incomplete pass the entire year. Has he played more than one game? No, he hasn't. But he still went 24 for 25 in his first game. I just like Purdue in this game. I think they could go win this one. I think Purdue might could go win this one. Thoughts on that one? You guys like that or hate it?
I have Notre Dame covering that, but this is at Purdue, so we know what happens there. And Notre Dame clearly has issues on offense, but they did go down to Texas A&M and win a night game at Texas A&M, and that can't be discounted. I still think Notre Dame covers this. But fun fact, and you mentioned that NIU is, I think you said, a 2-0 against Purdue all time. They are 1-0 against Notre Dame all time and 1-0 against Alabama all time as well.
Ooh.
Not many people can say they're undefeated against those two programs.
Or against those three even.
Yeah, but I mean, Purdue's Purdue.
Yeah, that's true. Okay.
Purdue is Purdue.
Purdue do be Purdueing quite often.
Yeah.
Brad, do you hate that pick, though, or do you like the reasoning?
I don't hate it, but I for sure don't love it. And in fact, Notre Dame is actually one of my picks, and I'll get to that and why in a second.
All right. Well, your ticket is now on the board here on the screen. So why don't you just take the reins here and let us know?
I might change up one of mine on the fly. But we'll start. I haven't said anything yet.
I know, but then I got to
you.
go change everything. Go ahead, though.
No, it's fine. No, I'm talking about like one of my locks, not one of my picks.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You can do that. Yeah. I'll allow it.
I know. Thank you. But we'll start with what we just talked about, Purdue, Notre Dame. I think Notre Dame blew it last week. I think they're going to be completely – I think that's the worst thing that could have happened for Purdue because now I think they're refocused. It's an in-state – I wouldn't call it a rivalry, but it's in-state bragging rights at least. I've never been to Ross-Ade Stadium. I've walked past it, and I imagined myself being in it. Wasn't impressed. I don't, when I was thinking about myself being in there, I was like, I could win a game here. So I don't think that's that big of a factor. And
that's the dumbest reasoning I've ever heard on this show, and that's saying something. I've walked by the stadium, and I wasn't impressed.
Nope. And I'm not a Purdue believer yet. I think Notre Dame will get refocused. I think they'll get it together. I think they're actually going to take it out on Purdue and cover the 10 by easily.
I don't think so.
Cover the 10 easily.
I think you're wrong, man. I think you're wrong. All right, what's your next one? We've talked about that game plenty. I'm skipping Wilson's
my next
thoughts.
one.
We know what he thinks, I think.
Next one, you guys have both already said it. Indiana. We don't need to talk about that anymore. I think that was an easy one. We've talked about that ad nauseum. I say nauseum. We're nauseous.
I say nauseum with an M.
So do I.
But is it? We've talked about it to nauseum or in nauseum or at nauseum. We've talked about it at nauseum.
I think that if that's wrong, right? Then I'm saying it wrong.
How often do you use that phrase?
A lot. I like it. I like that phrase. I use that phrase at nauseum.
We've done it. However you say it, we're there for sure.
Yeah.
And then my last one, I'm stepping out on a ledge a little bit here. I don't think anyone else has this probably, but I'm taking Wisconsin at home to lose by less than 16 points.
Why?
Just for fun.
Okay.
Just to see. Just to mix it up a little bit.
Wow.
And I'm going to put it as my lock.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I disagree. I don't like what I've seen from Wisconsin so far. I'll be honest, I didn't watch them last week because they were playing, like, I don't know who they were playing. I don't even remember who they were playing. I know it was somebody trash, though, last week. And so I'm going based off that Western Michigan game. Here's the thing, though. They played somebody trash last week. They've won both their games by 14 points, and it's been against pretty bad schools, pretty bad teams. And, in fact, they were losing that Western Michigan game in the fourth quarter, much like UCLA, as I was talking about earlier. So, yeah, I'm not in on that. Plus, if you're going based off what you just said about Notre Dame, I think Alabama had a pretty bad performance last week. They might be pissed off. They might be ready to go, run up the score on somebody. We'll see. We'll see, though. I like that you're switching it up, though.
I knew no one else would have it.
Sorry, what?
I knew no one else would have it, so I wanted to try to steal some points.
Maybe there's a reason no one else has it.
For sure, but whatever.
Wilson, one more time. You said Indiana, and then what were your other two? I want to put the stars on the sheet so that I know which ones are worth 2 points.
Washington.
Washington.
And Maryland.
Okay. All right. Now I have it denoted like you suggested on our sheet, so when I send it out, we'll know which pick is for 2 points. Should be a fun weekend for the picks. It'll be fun to track it. Everything's on Saturday. We don't have to watch a game tonight, or we don't get to watch a game tonight, however you look at it. So just a full day tomorrow. I'm excited. None of my kids have soccer this weekend at all. So this is a change up for me. I have a full free weekend to I think I'm going to watch football, but I think my wife's going to have other plans for me, so we'll see. You guys got anything exciting this weekend?
I got the dreadful fall wedding. Someone planned a September wedding.
What?
You hate to see it. You hate to see it. It's Russ. It's Russ's wedding. That's where I'm going.
Hold on.
Tomorrow.
He didn't invite me?
I guess not.
Hell no, dude. I'm texting him after this.
He'll probably be like, come.
He probably will. Actually, I shouldn't text him. He'll be like, oh, yeah, we got a spot for you, dude. Come on. And then I'll be obligated to go. Anyways.
It's in Indiana, though, so it's not as bad as all the way here.
True. The only games we didn't talk about, Wilson, were Oregon versus Oregon State and Michigan versus Arkansas State. I think we kind of at least touched. Oh, and then Iowa and Troy. Out of those 3 games, which one are you most excited about, Wilson? Do you think that Michigan could lose again? And you excited about that, or would you rather see if Oregon's actually going to be a team this year?
I'd rather watch the Oregon Civil War game. See how that turns out.
Do you think that we'll have another Civil War like in real life? Soon?
Yes. Not soon, but yes. But I'm more interested to see what kind of team this Oregon. I still can't tell because they scored a lot of points against Boise, but not against Wyoming or Idaho, whoever they played the first week. So
I'm interested as well. I have been expecting them to be better, and maybe that's my fault for the expectations being too high. Any final thoughts, boys? Are you ready to get out of here?
Yeah, we should probably take off.
Oh, yeah, let's go Lions. Beat the Bucks this weekend. Go Lions. Hope everybody wins all their picks. We will see you guys next Wednesday or later if we decide that that's better for our schedules.
Yep.
Goodbye, everybody.